Good morning, dear children. Welcome back. In today's session, we are going to continue our learning process of Class 7, Term 3, Unit 1 in History, New Religious Ideas and Movements. This is part 2 of the video series. Come children, let us learn. Dears, before going into today's session, let us have a recap of what we learned in the last one. In the last class, we discussed about the beginning of Bhakti movement. Children, medieval India saw an extraordinary production of devotional poetry which were not restricted to one particular religion but inspired by different religious movements. The exponents of these movements held the view that the total devotion or bhakti to God could save the man from the pitfalls of life and earn him salvation. The Bhagavad Gita proposed that path of Bhakti Marga is superior to other religious approaches like Jnana and Karma. Coming to the Bhakti movement in Tamil Nadu, it had its beginning in the 7th century AD. The Bhakti movement followers included practices like reciting the name of the god or goddesses, singing hymns in their praise, wearing religious marks, carrying identity emblems, undertaking pilgrimages to sacred places associated with the deity. It emphasized on the mutual emotional attachment and love of a devotee towards a personal god. The same view was shared by Sufism, which was a reaction against the worldliness of early Islam. They believed that realization of God can be achieved only through passionate devotion and intense meditation. They believed that doing that would liberate the devotees from all worldly bonds and help them to become one with God. In this session, children, we will discuss about the devotional movements in Tamilagam, that is about Alvars and Nayanmars. Dear children, the Alvars were devotees of Vishnu, whereas the Nayanmars were that of Shiva. They came from all castes, including those considered untouchables like the Pulayar and the Panars. They preached the love of Shiva or Vishnu as the path to salvation. The Nayanmars were a group of 63 saints devoted to Lord Shiva who lived during the 6th to 8th century. The Alvars were Tamil saints of South India with devotion to Lord Vishnu or his avatar Lord Krishna in their songs and longings and service. Dear children, the Alvars, the Vaishnavite Bhakti sages and the originators of Bhakti cult, and the Nayanmars, the worshippers of Shiva or Saivites, composed devotional hymns in Tamil language dedicated to their respective gods. So these Alvars and Nayanmars created hymns in Tamil and which were sung popularly by the common men, and they sing in praise of their respective gods. The Alvars are the Vaishnavite Bhaktis, Nayanmars were worships of Shiva or Saivites. The Shiva Bhakti is associated with Shiva's manifestations on earth. The Shiva Bhakti is Shiva's incarnation on the earth. Poems to Shiva and Vishnu, particularly to Krishna, were composed in Tamil and other South Indian languages such as Kannada and Telugu. So not only in Tamil, other languages also the poems were composed in Kannada as well as Telugu. The importance of composing hymns in Tamil is that at that time Sanskrit was considered as a knowledgeable language and people who worship lords or God were doing so in Sanskrit. So when the common people were able to sing the hymns in their own language, that created a revolution in the Bhakti movement. And my dear children, the poet saints criticized caste-based social status and advocated gender equality in order to make it good to stand the onslaught of Buddhism and Jainism. So the practice of creating hymns in regional language, in local language or in common man's language, and they try to criticize the discrimination based on caste, and they provided or authored, advocated for gender equality, equality of genders, that men and women are equal. And it was done so that they could stand the introduction of Buddhism or Jainism into their region. Dear children, now let us learn about Vishnu Bhakti or Vaishnavism. Dears, Vishnu Bhakti or Vaishnavism is based on Vishnu's avatars or incarnation. Incarnation, INCARNATIONS, incarnations. That means a person who embodies in the flesh a deity, spirit or quality. That is the meaning of incarnation. Particularly Krishna and Rama. You can see the various incarnation of Vishnu there. Rama, Balarama, Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narasimha, etc. And the 12 Tamil Alvars were chiefly known for their immortal hymns. Their songs are immortal. It is standing the testing of time. Dear children, two Alvars stand out distinctly for their contributions to the promotion of the Bhakti movement. Nammalvar's fame lies in his stanza. Nada Muni collected the 4,000 poems of Nammalvar in the form of Divya Prabandham. Andal, the only female Alvar, is another. So, two prominent Alvars were Nammalvar because of his stanza Thiruvaimuri, and Nada Muni, who collected the 4,000 poems of Nammalvar and he compiled it in the form of Divya Prabandham. And Andal was also famous because she was the only Alvar, only female Alvar. Dear children, Periyalvar, who was earlier known as Vishnu Chittar, made lots of songs on Lord Krishna, putting himself in the place of Mother Yashoda. So, Periyalvar composed so many songs by assuming himself as Mother Yashoda, mother of Lord Krishna. Periyalvar is said to have found Andal as a baby in the Tulasi garden at Srivalliputturu temple and adopted her. So, Andal was an adopted baby of Periyalvar. And where did he found her? In the Tulasi garden at Srivalliputturu temple. She grew up in temple town of Srivalliputturu and became known as Andal, means she who ruled. Who made lots of songs on Lord Krishna, putting himself in the place of Mother Yashoda? It was Periyalvar. What was his name? Vishnu Chittar. Who adopted Andal? Periyalvar adopted Andal. What is the meaning of Andal? The one who ruled, she who ruled. Dear children, the Tirupavai or the path to Krishna and Nachiyar Tirumuri, the sacred songs of the lady, are her celebrated works. So the two important works of Andal are the Tirupavai, which means path to Krishna, and Nachiyar Tirumuri, that is the sacred songs of the lady, are the two important works of Andal. Her poems expressing her love for Ranganatha, the incarnation of Vishnu, worshipped at the temple at Srirangam, are used in Vaishnava wedding ceremonies in Tamil Nadu. So, the incarnation of Vishnu, called as Ranganatha, which is worshipped at a temple at Srirangam, which is used in the Vaishnava wedding ceremonies of Tamil Nadu. And her poems express her love for the Lord Ranganatha, an incarnation of Vishnu. Children, now let us learn about the Vaishnavite saints, that is the 12 Alvars. The three Mudal Alvars, Poige Alvar, Bhudatta Alvar and Pei Alvar. The other Alvars are Tirumarisai Alvar, பெரியாழ்வார், தொண்டரடிப்பொடி ஆழ்வார், திருமங்கை ஆழ்வார், திருப்பனாழ்வார், குலசேகர ஆழ்வார், நம்மாழ்வார், மதுரகவி ஆழ்வார் and ஆண்டாள். So which are the 12 ஆழ்வார்ஸ்? The 3 முதல் ஆழ்வார்ஸ் are பொய்கை ஆழ்வார், பூதத்து ஆழ்வார் and பேய் ஆழ்வார். I repeat, பொய்கை ஆழ்வார், பூதத்து ஆழ்வார் and பேய் ஆழ்வார். The other ஆழ்வார்ஸ் are திருமலை இசை ஆழ்வார், பெரிய ஆழ்வார், தொண்டரடிப்பொடி ஆழ்வார், திருமங்கை ஆழ்வார், திருப்பானாழ்வார், குலசேகர ஆழ்வார், நம்மாழ்வார், மதுரகவி ஆழ்வார் and ஆண்டாள். Dear children, there are 12 ஆழ்வார்ஸ் in numbers. Among them, Sri Andal is the only woman. The முதல் ஆழ்வார்ஸ் are a group of பொய்கை ஆழ்வார், பூதத்து ஆழ்வார் and பேய் ஆழ்வார். All the 3 belong to the same period. Tirumala Isai Alvar is believed that Perumal was his own friend and sang many Mangalashams on God Perumal. The Tirumangai Alvar, at his early years, he was a great king and ruled the people at great administration skills. He later followed the austere life and dedicated the life for the Perumal and his devotees. Tondaradipudi Alvar was famous as Vipra Narayanar. He completely dedicated his life for Perumal and daily dedicated him with garlands. The Tiruppanalvar belonged to the Panar family and wrote beautiful songs in praise of Perumal. The Periyalvar is also known as the father of Sri Andal and father-in-law to Perumal. Perumal devotee Andal is also known as Sudi Kodutha Sudar Kudi, and she was brought up by Periyalvar. Nammalvar was supposed to be sleeping under the tamarind tree without food. He worked hard to spread the great Sri Vaishnavam. Madhurakavi Alvar was a great disciple of Nammalvar. Dears, now let us learn about the Saivite saints, that is 63 Nayanmars. Dears, there are 63 legendary Nayanmars. There are 63 legendary Nayanmars. Among them, Gnanasambandar, Appar and Sundarar, often called as the trio, are worshipped as saints through their images in South Indian temples. So, the trio, they are Appar, Gnanasambandar and Sundarar. They are worshipped as saints. Nambi Andar Nambi is said to have compiled the songs of all the Nayanmars that form the basis of Tirumurai. Who compiled the basis of Tirumurai? It was Nambi Andar Nambi. The basic Tamil Saivite sacred canon. These are the rules for Tamil Saivites. It consists of 12 books and 11 of them were assembled by Nambi. The 12th book is Sekkirar Periya Puranam. So among the 12 books, 11 were compiled by Nambi Andar Nambi, which consisted of all the songs of all the Nayanmars, and it is called as the Tirumurai. The 12th book is called as Sekkirar Periya Puranam. The picture given shows the various Nayanmars. Dears, the Nayanmars were a group of 63 saints living in Tamil Nadu during the 6th to 8th centuries Common Era, who were devoted to Lord Shiva. The names of the Nayanmars were first compiled by Sundarar, and the list was expanded by Nambi Andar Nambi during the compilation of materials by the poets for the Tirumurai collection. Dear children, in the 10th century, King Rajaraja Chola I collected volumes of Thevaram. It is the first 7 volumes of Tirumurai, the 12-volume collection of the Saiva devotional poetry. After hearing excerpts of the hymns in his court, his priest Nambi Andar Nambi began compiling the hymns into a series of volumes called the Tirumurai. He arranged the hymns of 3 saint poets Sambandar, Appar and Sundarar as the first 7 books, which he called the Thevaram. He compiled Manikavasakar, Tirukkoviyar and Tiruvasagam as an 8th book, the 28 hymns of 9 other saints as the 9th book, the Tirumandiram of Tirumular and 40 hymns by 12 other poets as the 10th book. In the 11th book, he created Tirutondanar Tiruvantatai, the necklace of verses on Lord's servant, which consisted of 89 verses, with each verse devoted to each of the saints. In the 12th century, Sekirar added the 12th volume to Tirumurai called as Periya Puranam, in which he expands further on the stories of each of the 63 Nayanmars. Children, now it is time for us to learn about the Advaita philosophy of Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara or Shankaracharya preached the Advaita philosophy. Dear children, Adi Shankaracharya was an Indian philosopher and theologian. He is credited with unifying and establishing the main currents of thoughts in Hinduism. His works in Sanskrit discusses the unity of the Atman and Nirguna Brahman, that is the Brahman without the attributes. He wrote commentaries on Vedic canons, that is Brahma Sutras, Upanishads and Bhagavad Gita in support of his thesis. He also explained the differences between Hinduism and Buddhism. He is reputed to have founded the Madhas or the 4 Madhas, which helped in the historical development, revival and spread of Advaita Vedanta, of which he is known as the greatest revivalist. The essence of this philosophy, that is the Advaita philosophy, is that the soul or the Atma unites with the universal soul or Brahma through the attainment of knowledge. That is, our soul will unite with the universal soul, which is the Brahma, once we attain knowledge. Dear children, Adi Shankara set up mads, centers of learning and worship at Badrinath, Puri, Dwaraka and Sringeri. Which are the places he set up mads or worship centers? Badrinath, Puri, Dwaraka and Sringeri. Badrinath, Badrinath, Puri, 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 Dwaraka, Dwarka, Dwarka and Sringeri, Sringeri. These places have become prominent pilgrim centers today. These are very, very important pilgrim centers. Those are the places where Adi Shankara set up his mads, which were centers of learning and worship. Shankara enthusiastically endeavored to restore the orthodox Vedic tradition without paying attention to the Bhakti movement of his time. He tried to restore the orthodox Vedic tradition. He was a Brahmin and he tried to revive the orthodox Vedic tradition. And he was not bothered about the Bhakti movement which was happening in that time. His masterpiece is the commentary on the Brahma Sutra, which is a fundamental text of Vedanta school. So he has written a commentary on Brahma Sutra, which is a basics of Vedanta. His commentaries on the principal Upanishads are also considered equally important. Now let us learn about Ramanuja. Ramanuja was 11th century Vaishnava saint, was the most influential thinker of Vaishnavism. He was the most prominent thinker of Vaishnavism. His philosophy was known as Vishishta Advaita, proclaims that the soul retains its identity even after uniting with the Brahma. He also believed that the soul united with the Brahma, but he claimed that it retained its identity. Its identity is not lost. Dear children, Ramanuja was highly influential by giving Bhakti an intellectual basis, and his efforts made Bhakti the major force within different traditions of Hinduism. Dears, after a long pilgrimage, Ramanuja settled in Srirangam. Ramanuja reformed the Srirangam Ranganath Swami temple complex, undertook India-wide tours and expanded the reach of his organization. The temple organization became the stronghold of his ideas and his disciples. It is here he wrote his influential Vishishtadvaita philosophy text. Ramanuja articulated ideas of social equality and condemned caste-based restrictions on entering the temples. He advocated social equality. He established centers to spread his doctrine of devotion, Sri Vaishnavism, to God Vishnu and his consort Lakshmi. So he established centers to spread his doctrine, Sri Vaishnavism, to his God Vishnu and his consort Lakshmi. Ramanuja was very much devoted to Lord Vishnu and his wife Lakshmi, so he established centers to spread his doctrine of devotion, that is Sri Vaishnavism. Dear children, in the 16th and 17th centuries, Vaishnavism spread across India. There were two types like Vadakalai Vaishnavism, Vadakalai, Vadakalai Vaishnavism originally flourished around Kanchipuram, which was a popular center for Sanskrit learning. The Tenkalai Vaishnavism centered on Srirangam. The Vadakalai sect focused on Vedic literature, which is written in Sanskrit. And the Tenkalai sect stressed the importance of Divya Prabandhams written by the 12 Alvars in Tamil. So, the Vadakalai Vaishnavism was based on Kanchipuram, based around Kanchipuram, and they were focused on the Vedic literature, whereas the Tenkalai Vaishnavism were centered on Srirangam and gave importance on Divya Prabandhams written by the 12 Alvars, and it was in Tamil. Before winding up the session, let us have a recap of what we discussed here. We discussed about the devotional movements in Tamilagam, that is about the Alvars and the Nayanmars. The Alvars are the Vaishnavite Bhakti sages and the originators of Bhakti cult, and the Nayanmars were the worshippers of Shiva or Saivites who composed devotional hymns in Tamil language dedicated to their respective gods. These poet saints criticized caste-based social status and advocated gender equality. The 12 Tamil Alvars are chiefly known for their immortal hymns. The Nammalmar's fame lies in the 1102 stanza of Thiruvaimozhi. Nadamuni collected the 4000 poems of Nammalvar in the form of Divya Prabandham, and Andal was the only female Alvar. The Tirupavai and Nachiyar Tirumozhi are the celebrated works of Andal. Her poems expressing her love for Ranganatha, the incarnation of Vishnu, worshipped at the temple at Srirangam, which is used in Vaishnava wedding ceremonies of Tamil Nadu. We also learnt about Adi Shankara or Shankaracharya, who preached the Advaita philosophy. That is, the soul or the Atma unites with the universal soul or Brahma through the attainment of knowledge. He tried to restore the orthodox Vedic tradition without paying attention to the Bhakti movement of his times. His masterpiece is the commentary on the Brahma Sutra. His commentaries on principal Upanishads are also considered equally important. We also learnt about Ramanuja, a 11th century Vaishnava saint, who was the most influential thinker of Vaishnavism. His philosophy, Vishishtadvaita, proclaims that the soul retains its identity even after uniting with Brahma. Dear children, in the next session, we will discuss about the Bhakti movement in North India. That's all for today's session, my dear children. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe our channel, youtube.com/Samachir Kalvi Guide. Thank you.